Editing Kim here. Before we even get into this video, I do get a little passionate at the end. I get a little borderline emotion. I thought for a second that I was going to apologize for it, but I'm not going to apologize. I'm just giving you a heads up. If that's going to trigger you, it is at the end of the video, towards the end of the video. But I mean everything I say in this video. I do. Hello, my fellow flawless, limitless, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs. How are you on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you all? This is an impromptu, unplanned video. I wasn't planning on recording this today, but it's a necessity, okay? Because I've been making notes of the phone calls that I have had, my coaching calls, the last 3 days, and I've been making notes. And to any of you who have spoken to me in the last 3 days through a call, this doesn't necessarily mean I'm talking about you. Yeah, I talk to a lot of people all during the day. A lot of people. So it doesn't necessarily mean you. Don't go getting paranoid on me, okay? But I have seen a theme, per se. We're going to talk. Now, I'm going to shorten my normal little intro that makes my heart just go warm knowing they're all singing with me. So we'll do a brief one. If you need help figuring out what's going on between you and your manifestation, please feel free to email me at manifestingwithKimberly@gmail.com. All of my coaching options are in the drop box below. They're in the screens that just went by. And from there, if you want to get a hold of me, it's all in the drop box below. Always drop box below. Always to contact me, okay? Including my other YouTube channel, Kimberly's Other Life, down below, okay? Regular coaching, a little bit of wait, a little bit of a wait, okay? Emergency coaching is so that you're not waiting, but the emergency coaching is 24 to 72 hour, okay? Not 24/48 anymore, 24/72, because I get a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so enough about all that, okay? We're going to jump right in. I'm feeling and I am seeing and experiencing, so therefore it's in my awareness, so I keep experiencing more of it. Let's talk about feelings. And guys, settle up because I'm going to be really sassy. I'm going to be really, really sassy. Today is kind of a sass video. Okay, I know my no bullshit manifestation real talk video was a little bit on the sass. We're gonna kind of revisit that tempo in this video today. Okay, all right. If you're new here, how you doing? My name's Kimberly. I have heard that there is someone who calls me Kimberlya. Yeah, right. Gary, Kimberlya. Yeah. Okay. I am Kimberly, and I am always sassy and sarcastic, and that is my take on manifestation. We make it fun. Okay, over here, okay? We make it fun. We're not boring, all right? I would love for you to subscribe and come back and see me and join my fellowship of HBICs. We're a very loving community over here, but we have fun, we laugh, we joke around, we're sarcastic, okay? Because that brings me joy. I love sarcasm, just saying. Anyway. Let's talk about the feelings today. Listen, I know that every single one of us wants our manifestation like yesterday, linear time yesterday. We all want it yesterday. I am in the awareness of knowing that. I understand that. When we are manifesting from the place of who we're being at all times, whether we like it or not, at all times. So that implies we're breaking the habit of being the version of ourselves that manifested the shit that we're trying to say bye-bye to. Okay? For some of us, you might not have a circumstance right now, and perhaps it's just crickets in your 3D, right? We're not seeing any movement. Okay. But that 3D is still a manifestation. It is, whether nothing's happening or something's happening. It's a manifestation. Every day when you open your eyes, it's a manifestation. I know, we really don't think about that enough, but it is. You are manifesting your reality every damn day, every second. Everything is a manifestation. Okay? So if your 3D is not looking the way you want it to, the answer is never going to be sit back and wallow that it's not here yet. Sit and whine that it's not here yet. Think of all the reasons and evidence that you can come up with based off all your old experiences that make you feel justified in your decision to believe that it is not working. It is not working. Okay. No. That is nothing but the habit of your old, limited self. Can you feel the heat? The heat that I'm giving off? No. That's a habit we're saying bye-bye to. And listen, if you find that your mind is going to the place of justifying your reasoning for not liking your 3D, can't you see what that is? That is a victim state. Every single time. No exceptions. Now, I said we're going to talk about feelings, so let's roll into feelings. How does that connect? When you are breaking the habit of being a particular version of yourself, you are shifting your state of consciousness. That is what a version of self is. It's a state of consciousness. There might be a moment here or there where you look at the 3D, you're not happy with what you see, and you start feeling anxious over this. Our human conditioning makes us feel I've got to do whatever I can do to get rid of this feeling because it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel satisfying. Now, granted, I am not talking to any of you who have generalized anxiety, so you have any anxiety disorders. I'm not talking to you. I realize you are probably experiencing anxiety a little more often. I get that. You can heal that through the decision of being the healed version of yourself. But I'm not picking at you per se, okay? I'm talking about anybody who does not have that disorder and is experiencing anxiety. Now, don't get me wrong. Finding things or ways to, calm ourselves, right? The popular phrase, nervous system, what's that phrase? Regulation. Yes, that's lovely. That's fantastic. Yes, let's get some nervous system regulation. However, you'll often hear me say your feelings are always valid. How you feel is valid. We should never be shutting ourselves down. We don't want to stifle our feelings. We do not. That's not the message. My message is for those of you who are, when you're getting anxious over not getting what you want in the 3D, some of you are satisfying that anxiety by allowing yourself to sit in old habits from old self. And by old habits, I mean going and checking social media regarding your specific person. Going into old, not beneficial habits. And then we ask why our manifestation isn't here. Manifesting, as I said in my other video, the no bullshit video, manifesting is not only happening when you're in a good mood or when the 3D is showing something you want. That is not the only time you're manifesting, friends. You're manifesting all the time, and the answer to your desire is always, yes, you can have it. Yes, you can have it. But how do you let God or the universe, your higher power, source energy, moonbeams, I amness, how do you alert them to what you want as a desire? You choose who you are being. So if you are being the version of yourself that doesn't have the manifestation and doesn't think it's ever going to come, the answer is yes. You can have that. You can have, you're never going to get it. Yes. We have been given the ability, the gift to manifest any desire. Any desire. No exceptions. But the caveat to that is you got to be it. You got to be the version of you that has it. You have to choose it. You have to make a decision that you are now new self, despite your feelings. Despite how you feel today. I'm also not talking about the one-offs. Everybody has a bad day. Everybody has a doubtful thought here and there. I'm not talking about those moments. I'm talking about, and you all know who you are. I'm talking about the ones that are giving in to that shit fucker thinking too much. Too much. Giving in to that thinking and then having the balls to wonder why it ain't here yet. That is a not 1 + 1 = 2 kind of scenario. That is a 1 × 100 = 10,000 million trillion. It's nowhere near close. Are you hearing me? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? There's a reason why that little phrase shitfucker land exists. You know what I'm saying? Because some of us are married to shitfucker land and don't want to own it. You don't want to own it. I didn't want to own it either. That's how I know when you're doing it. I didn't want to own it either. And I wanted to bitch about my circumstances. It was a pleasure. I thrived off of bitching about what I didn't have. What wasn't working for me. What was pissing me off. That was my thing. That's fucking pissing me off. That was always me. That's who I was. I loved to bitch. And I was really good at it. I gotta say, I was damn well good at it. It's probably why it's so easy for me to be so sarcastic and sassy, because of who I used to be. And that's going to stem into another direction. For those of you who feel like you are struggling with letting go of stories, letting go of old self, you've got to stop hating your old version of self. You've got to stop hating your ego. That is not getting you anywhere. And honestly, I'm just going to say it. Some of you ain't going to like it, but I don't care. You should be loving your former selves. Loving all versions of yourself. Because those former limited versions of self got you where you are today. They got you to the place of being awake. And my gosh, if y'all could just look at your circumstances and see that no matter what it is, good or bad, circumstances, even if it's crickets, every single thing you experience is moving you. It is guiding you. It is inspiring you to be the version of yourself that has the desire. I know that solo vacations, if you're new here, solo vacation means breakup. I know that breakups don't logically look like it's you being the version of yourself that has your manifestation. That was my exact experience. I know logically we look at that and we say, how is that me being the me who has what I want, or has my marriage, or has my, long-term relationship? How is a breakup equaling that, Kim? I don't know where you started from, but clearly you manifested the breakup based off of who you used to be. Your old version of self got you there. And somehow, some way, that breakup is moving you to align with the self that can have the marriage, that can have the long-term relationship. We'll use me as the example. Way back when I was in a permanent victim state, thinking that this person was never going to love me the way I wanted them to. They're never going to choose me. They're never going to put me first. They're never going to fully commit to me. I'm never going to get what I want. I can't do another day of this. Why is he so terrible to me? I'm such a good girlfriend. I'm so good to him. Why won't he treat me right? Why won't he say, good morning, beautiful, I love you every single day? Why can't I have that every single day? I know he's not thinking of me. He's deliberately choosing other things. He's probably talking to someone else. He doesn't love me. He doesn't love me. That's who I was every fucking day, and then wondering why my 3D wouldn't change. Hi. Hello. That's why. But it was that limited self of mine, that victim self of mine, that led me to that damn breakup. And I would have loved to have slapped the shit right on out of her in that moment. But guess who looks back on that and is so grateful that I got led there? Guess who's so grateful to that former version of myself? Because if I didn't get there, if I didn't get to that breakup, I don't know when I would have fully comprehended states of consciousness and understood that, oh my God, I've been a victim this entire time. Yeah, Kim, you were a victim. You were married to the victim state. You were married. I was married to it. I own it. But it led me to who I needed to be to get that relationship back. It led me to my outcome. I couldn't have perceived that when it manifested. So some of you, I get it. You're not perceiving that this current maybe shitty circumstance or the no contact or being broke and you're manifesting money. I get it. When the circumstances are logically the opposite of what you want, I understand why you're not perceiving them as favorable. That's okay. I'm not saying you got to pretend to love things you don't love. I'm saying you can look at the 3D and make the decision that despite what my 5 senses, and we got more than 5 senses though, are telling me, I'm still going to choose my new self. I'm still going to decide that my 3D reality is unfolding to my manifestation. I'm choosing to be new self. I'm still going to choose. I'm always going to choose. I'm not going to give in to the anxiety I'm feeling or the sadness I'm feeling. I will allow myself the cry if necessary, or the scream if necessary, or the nap, or the break. I'm going to allow myself that. But I still choose my new self. Because if you're letting circumstances stop you from choosing new self, how about you take a good 5-10 minutes and think about whatever circumstance you're facing that is troubling you. Who were you before that manifested? Who were you? I'm talking the last 5, 6, 7 months. Who were you dominantly? Where was your mind dominantly? And it was probably somewhere around the house of that circumstance. So can that be a little something to allow you to believe, to trust? Again, I'm going to assume some of you might be watching this from a victim state. This is not me telling you to shut down your emotions and feelings. That's not the message. And if you're hearing that message, you need to rewatch and perceive correctly. I'm not telling you to not allow yourself to have your emotions, to express your feelings. I'm saying stop letting the feeling of anxiety equal there's something wrong. I must be doing something wrong. This isn't working. I'm feeling anxious. Maybe that means this specific person isn't meant for me. Maybe, I don't know, God, universe has something better for me. I mean, that's not a terrible mindset. I'm just saying that's a limiting mindset. But stop allowing your body's habit of responding to things as the reason you decide that you can't have what you want. Stop it. That is another victim state, shield of protection. This isn't God's will. This isn't God's plan. Maybe we're not meant to be. Maybe he's really not my soulmate. Whatever we tell ourselves. That is another limited belief. You are limitless. You are flawless. Whether you believe in God or universe or the absolute, like Mr. Bentoff believes, or the absolute consciousness, universe, whatever. Whether you believe any of that, or which one you align with, it's not going to chase you down. It's not going to force you into choosing new self. It's there to guide you. It's there to allow you to have the free will to decide everything's working in your favor. And then guess what? You keep deciding that. Guess what happens? Everything works in your favor. It is always there, waiting for you to choose. And the answer is yes to everything. I know I've already said that, but you've got to hear this. Nothing is forcing you to be any version of yourself. It's a choice. For some of us, it has been more comfortable to be a victim. That was me. That's not comfortable to me at all anymore. And when things do pop up before I have returned to my decision, that victim state does not feel comfortable to me anymore. It feels yucky as hell. Yucky. Shit. It really is shit fucker land. I look forward to returning to my decision to get that yuck off of me. Some of you are still swimming in that yuck. That's not what you're meant for. But no one outside of you is going to force you to choose. You have to. Like I said in the other day's video, it's your responsibility. Your happiness is your responsibility. You can fucking do this. Stop looking for excuses to protect your heart. Meaning, stop looking or labeling everything you experience as evidence that you can't get what you want or that you can't manifest in order for you to protect yourself from being hurt again, from being disappointed again, from being let down again. Because I know, at least from my own experience, that some of us, like myself, have been let down over and over and over again in our lives. And I used to use my own personal letdowns, my own personal shitty experiences as the excuse to keep me trapped in that fucking victim state. And that victim state was my choice. I chose to be there because it was too fucking scary to allow myself to step out of that and believe for a minute that I can get what I want. That felt scary to me. And I know it feels scary for some of you too. But I'm so grateful that old limited bitch of myself, that old limited me, kept choosing anyway. I don't hate my old version. And I don't hate my ego I don't hate any part of me, because every single version of me led me here. And I've never been happier. So I don't care how long you've been in a victim state. I don't care how long you've been manifesting. I don't care. That's not a reason to give up on your fucking self. Oh. Whew. I do care. I care about all of you. And I want all of you to get it. I want all of you to get your joy. And it's right there in front of you. But you've got to choose it. You've got to choose it before we see in the 3D. Most of the time, the change, that manifestation is in here first. Then it's out here. Choose it. You've got to choose it. I can be your cheerleader, but you still got to make the play. You still got to choose. Okay? And on that note, let me get my fucking emotional self together, and I'll see you tomorrow.